So today we saw Liverpool going out of the Champions League against PSG, as I kind of expected. But there's always hope that they do win because of the things that can happen at Anfield. But unfortunately, we played a pretty good game, but in the end, the passes in the final third or the decisions in the final third just weren't there. And a lot of the decisions in the final third that weren't there were from Mo Salah because for some reason we tried, like actually played good until Mo Salah came in. In my opinion, we played pretty good football and we actually created a lot of chances until Ekatike came off and Salah came in, and when we played a lot of balls over the side of Salah, which eventually he just or crossed it and got blocked, or he just stopped working in the final third and then he just got the ball taken away from him. And that pretty much sums up Mo Salah's season. It's a bit like Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. It's cola, but not really. I've got a few things that sum up something that hasn't worked out but could get better. Because I think in this game we actually had more ball possession than PSG. We actually created more chances than PSG. That also the reason because PSG wasn't like, okay, sure, just come at us and we'll counter you, which worked in the second half. But that's also because we should have had a penalty. We should have had a penalty, but for the so many times this season it got ruled out in against our favor, and that just completely because if we got that penalty and Mo didn't take it, so we would have scored that lot of chance of that we would have scored, then we actually could be back in this game. But no, we got the penalty ruled out against our favor. Then PSG scored immediately after that. That's momentum. That is momentum for you, and that's happened a lot of times this season. But I thought that it was promising this game. Like we had a lot of games that weren't promising, but Fulham I thought was promising, and I thought this game was to a certain degree promising because I did see fighting spirit. It was just we couldn't get the passes in the final third or the final passes or the final touches we couldn't get correct. Yeah, I mean that can happen. You don't get a lot of time against teams like PSG. So I think that is promising and that we should keep Arne Slot till the end of the season and give him one summer, and if it doesn't work out after that, then I think it's fair to raise questions. But until now, I think it's promising. We just ha we just it's like taking a detour in life. Like life gives you a lot of detours that you have to take before you get where you want to be. And that's the same with my YouTube channel. I take a lot of detours like shadow bans and fucking YouTube algorithm being stupid. But like in the end, as long as I think it's fun to do, and at some point you get found out, you will get there. It's just the way everyone's way is different in it. And this season, we took a detour that we didn't want to take, but it was a detour that we probably had to make, and maybe that's for a reason. Maybe this is a learning experience where we can actually learn from the things what went wrong this season, and we can build on that. I think a certain thing that we can build on is like replacing the older players like Mo Salah, like Robbo, who are leaving at the end of the season.
Computer says no.
Right. So the new camera died. So the old camera is back. The quality is a little bit less, but deal with it. So we were at the point that we were on about Salah and Robbo leaving at the end of the season, which I think actually is pretty okay. Like Robbo, you could argue for like, should he stayed longer, but FSG are not gonna give him a new contract. Like that's only they they only give that to players like Virgil or Mo, because they have so big standout season. But Robbo doesn't have that anymore. Robbo doesn't have those standout season like Virgil and Mo did. Just like Mo didn't have a standout season this year. That's why Mo is leaving at the end of this season, because he probably also knows he doesn't have it anymore, although he doesn't want to admit it, but it's true. And I think that's what we do need to like build on. Like nobody expected this drop off from Salah. Let's get that clear. But it's not just a drop off from Salah. It's also the players we sold and the players we bought. The amount of players that we sold, I just watched the reel in the meantime that my camera died in it. And that was from James Redmond, and I actually agreed with a lot of what he said about Klopp would never have let this happen, that so many players go and that so many players come in. But the difference between Klopp and Slot, which still a lot of people don't really see, because they don't watch with their eyes and they don't read with their eyes, they don't listen with their ears, they just listen and watch with their crack or something. Slot is not the manager. Slot is the head coach. He doesn't do like transfer. He's like Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards. They are like, yo, we want to give you this. Slot's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll deal with that. Yeah, sure, give me that, bro. Give me that. Klopp had more say in that, but Slot doesn't yet, or maybe he doesn't want that say. He's just there. I want to coach football, and I don't really want that sort of power. And it's just a lot of the players from Klopp's team don't really suit the exact style that Slot wants to play. And yeah, that takes time to implement, because we still have a lot of players that don't play that style. Like also Mo, you could just see his legs are gone. He wants to, but his legs are gone. He wants to dribble past someone. His legs are gone. He wants to chip the ball around someone and then run after it. His legs are gone. And he doesn't want to admit it. But it is what it is. Age catches up, bro. And football is harsh in that. Life is harsh in that. But I think it's the right decision to let Mo go. I also think it's the right decision to let Robbo go, because at some point it was gonna happen. And also FSG just don't work like that. FSG don't give don't give contracts like that to players over 30, apart from special situations like Van Dijk or Mo Salah. Then they will, but like only if they see value in that, and only if they see like, oh yeah, this guy is gonna perform for us next season. We took a gamble on that with Mo, because Mo had such an amazing season last year, but it didn't work out. That's fair, and that that's talking about setbacks. That's another point in it. Setbacks. It's not just Mo having the worst season, because like if we had a season from Mo what we had last year, then I think we would have less problems. But we are so this team was at the beginning of the year was so focused on still getting the ball to Mo Salah, because Mo Salah will score anyway in the end. But like I said, his legs are gone. That's one setback. Then we have injuries. Who would have foreseen so many fucking injuries? I mean, yes, Connor Bradley is a little bit injury prone, but no one would have known that he had to go through knee surgery. Then we had Jeremy Frimpong, who was never injury prone, and for some reason this year got so many injuries. Then we got Ugo Ekitike today, and like against Brighton, and there were also other examples of him just getting weird injuries. And like right now, the only thing we can hope is that Ekitike could actually play again this season. And I mean, that was also the fear with Isak. And Isak got an even worse injury because he had to go through surgery. But Isak's back now. And if you actually deep it, we have not played the formation that we wanted at the beginning of the season. We have only played that formation a few times. Just think about that. That's how many injuries we've got. Like then you can be like, oh geez, if we had that many injuries that we couldn't even stick to one system, how can we actually play a system good if we can't even stick to that system? So that's something to think about. And then we had also that thing with Mo Salah and Arne Slot. I actually think Arne Slot handled that pretty well. And I don't know how there are people saying like Arne Slot has embarrassed Mo Salah. I think Mo Salah has embarrassed himself more than Arne Slot actually did. Because what Arne Slot actually did was just, oh, you're throwing a tantrum because you think you're the only one or the best in the team. Well, you haven't been the best in the team this year because you only scored like 6 goals. Like, that's just not good enough. And, like, that's not something we can build on. So, how am I supposed to start you when you don't actually guarantee me goals anymore? And he didn't like to hear that. And that's just a child throwing a tantrum, in my opinion. But everybody has their say on that. I think it's just. I think Arne Slot has handled it pretty well. I think he also got the backing of the higher ups. Maybe that's why Mo Salah is leaving. Maybe it's just because his legs are gone and he's not good enough anymore. And the club and himself have seen that and think maybe it's better to part ways. Because I get that Mo Salah wants to start every game. But at some point, if you're not performing as well as you were, then you're not going to start every game. And yeah, if Mo Salah wants to start every game, then he can't be at Liverpool. I think that's a pretty good example of why he's leaving. But, and for my final point, I got failed, but fixable. This season has failed miserably. Yeah, we haven't challenged for the Premier League. We haven't really challenged for the Carabao Cup. We tried to give it a go in the FA Cup and got embarrassed by City. And we gave it a good go in the Champions League against a team that was just better. That is just better. And that's a tough pill to swallow. But let's at least go for the Champions League spots now and try to fix what needs to be fixed in the summer and at least give Arne Slot a go. Make us change our mind on him. My mind's still not changed on on him staying. I still think Arne Slot's the right man. And I think that's in line with the board. Because there was a stat that I heard from a Dutch broadcaster that said that Liverpool, in their so many years of being a football club, they have only had 28 managers or 23. I don't know yet. I don't know anymore. But in between those two, that says a lot about the philosophy of this club. And honestly, I think it's a shame that a lot of these online fans think that they they're probably just gotten here and they see us lose and they're like, oh, what is this shit? Like, I don't like. How can you go like, I want Arne Slot out? What are the options? Liverpool don't rush their they don't rush sacking their manager. They give the manager or the head coach nowadays, they give them time instead of fucking clubs like Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea before Todd Bowley was like, yeah, you're not performing, get out. that's a way of thinking, but I don't think it's the right way of thinking. Now it's just like, oh, you don't agree with the board on how we want how we want to run our club, get out. Same with United. You don't agree with how we want to run the club, get out. I think Liverpool is doing that pretty well. Arne Slot is like, I think Arne Slot is backed by the board, and I mean, I think the board knows better than us because they are the board and they are not there for no reason. They've done something or have some experience in things in life that we don't have. So I don't know. I'm not gonna be. Also, it's not worth my energy to scream here like, oh, sack Arne Slot now because he didn't win. I remember a season on the club where we didn't win anything. Remember that season after we won the Premier League with Klopp? I don't believe we won anything. Weird. Um, Remember that season after we got close to the quadruple? I don't recall winning anything. We even got fifth, which wasn't a Champions League spot. No, could be me, but like this year we'll probably finish fifth in a Champions League qualifying spot, and we're not winning anything. Sounds a lot like a season we had on the club, but it could be me in it. Some dickheads still think that, oh no, Arne Slot did it with Jurgen Klopp's team, not with his own team, so it's still Jurgen Klopp's win. How far can Jurgen Klopp be so much in your head that you can't let him go? Move on! Fucking sentimental dickheads. That was amazing. I want to end the video on that Liverpool actually played alright. We dominated ball possession. We dominated in creating chances, but we couldn't finish our dinner. This happened a lot this season, and I don't really think you can blame the manager when players like McAllister just or Sobo this game, or like Salah this game, or more games, can just not string a pass together, bro. They just couldn't. And then you got the fucking ref who just gives a penalty first because he's normal. And then fucking, I don't know how you turn that over to no penalty. But it fucking is what it is, and I don't even care. I think if that penalty was given, the game could have been a whole lot different. But that's not the point. PSG are just a better team than us. They're more balanced. They played longer with each other. They have a better chemistry with each other at this moment in time. And yeah, I think we didn't even deserve a chance of winning, but we still got that. We still had a chance of winning until the third goal from PSG. At that point, you were like, yeah, there has to be a miracle to like for us to come back. But I think we actually played somewhat alright, and I think it's promising. And we just have to focus on the Premier League now because it's the only thing we can focus on. Well, we have to focus on getting the Champions League tickets because we're actually getting blessed by the coefficients by giving us a fifth place. So we gotta take that fifth place. Maybe we even get higher, but we'll see that. Doesn't really matter. But if we go if we go in games like we did in this game, then I think we have a pretty big chance of getting Champions League next season. So like and subscribe, yeah, and I'll see you lot after the Everton game.